the Supreme Court is now debating on what a woman is. Listen to this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since you bring it up, why don't we start there? Dr. Verma, I wasn't sure I understood your answer to Senator Moody a moment ago. Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I...
We got to get rid of these people. We got to get rid of them. This is crazy. Like, this is, you've got it. This has got to stop. This is so ridiculous, so insane, so stupid. What is this? Take away our license?
I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities. And so that's where I paused. I think, yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there...
I love watching this unravel in real time. I do. There has been nothing better than watching these people totally unravel and unwind in real time. This is embarrassing. This is the saddest thing ever. It is.
I'm not really sure what the goal of the question is.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics.
Right.
So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities.
This is crazy. This is insane. What is wrong with you? Back to the script? Yes.
But
can men get pregnant?
There are many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women. That
can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying...
Let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics.
I don't know how anybody can watch this and not come to the conclusion that this woman is absolutely insane and should be she should have her license taken away from her. Like, if you think that men can get pregnant or you can't answer this simple biological reality, you should be disbarred, or like not disbarred, but like, you know, had your license totally taken away. Like, what are we doing with this? It's insane that this is even happening. Like, and this is the problem, is that I don't think that we are nearly aggressive enough with these people that are trying to take their weird ideology and turn it into an actual practice. Like, you have to totally destroy these people. And you have to make an example out of them, too. Because if you don't do that, they will totally unravel the world just so they can feel good or to fit in with their ideology. You can't let this happen at all.
So, can men get pregnant? You're a doctor, I think.
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Science and evidence.
Science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men. Can they get pregnant?
I also think yes/no questions like this are a political tool. And
no.
This is no. You don't understand. No, this is all a political tool. Oh my God.
Yes/no questions are about the truth, doctor. Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding. This is about science and evidence, and I'm asking you. You know, the United States Supreme Court just heard arguments yesterday at great length on this question. This is not a hypothetical question. This is not theoretical. It affects real people in their real lives. And you're here as an expert, called by the other side as an expert. And
this is, thank you. Thank you. Do you remember what I've said before about experts? I've said this over and over and over again. These people are not experts. Stop referring to them as experts. They are absolutely not. Who's defending her? The people that put her up there to say this shit. Absolutely. If you think that this is the truth, a lot of these weird leftist people, they do this constantly. They can't define what a woman is, but they can define what sexism is against women instantly. How does that happen?
You've been telling us that you follow, right?
Never
You're
listen
a doctor,
to experts.
And you follow the science and the evidence. So I just want to know, based on the science, can men get pregnant? That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
I'm not. I'm trying.
There's no complexity. It's not complicated. It's just not.
It's not complex. Yeah, I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity as a medical professional and as a scientist. Can men get pregnant?
I think you're also conflating.
Man. She's definitely in denial. It is. This is a doctor. And I want you guys to see how bad it is. See, these are the same people that are out there repeating these same lies over and over. You got to institutionalize these people. You got to do something about them. You can't let people out here going around, this is a doctor. Where are our standards? What the hell is going on?
This is extraordinary. No, I'm not conflating male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
What you were talking about is...
What you're talking... Oh, let's hear what this actually is. Oh, my God.
Biological...
You're not going to answer my question.
Biological males.
This isn't...
She's afraid of being attacked by people out in public. I know. And you have to force these people into admitting it. And I think that really, the more that you press them on this, the more this will fall apart and totally unravel. This is what happens, is that these ideologies, there's a reason why the entire internet needed to be censored in order to make these ideologies able to exist. It's because the moment that even the slightest amount of logic and rationality is applied to them, they totally fall apart. They collapse.
Hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no?
I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you.
It's so patronizing and obnoxious and annoying. Don't you just hate people like this? They're so annoying. I hate them.
That is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and...
It's polarizing to talk about whether men can get pregnant or not. I'm sorry, but if you get polarized by that, you need to be in a box. You need to be in a padded room.
I'm not trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask... I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about women. And for the record, it's women who get pregnant, not men. We are here about the safety of women and science that shows that this abortion drug causes adverse health events in 11% of cases. That's 22 times greater than the...
That's insane. 11% is a crazy number.
FDA label, another fact you haven't acknowledged, and yet you won't even acknowledge the basic reality that biological men don't get pregnant. There's a difference.
This is, remember what I said before about how these people have totally replaced religion with ideology? This is their new religion. This is the reason why they can't deny it or go back on it or say anything that is counter to it at all. This is a dogmatic cult religion.
Difference between biological men and biological women. I just, I don't know how we can take you seriously and your claims to be a person of science if you won't level with this on this basic issue. I thought we were past all of this, frankly. I can't believe we're still here talking about this.
I am a person of science, and I'm also someone here who...
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Who's here to represent the complex experiences of my patients, and I don't think...
They're not, it's not complex at all. What do you mean it's complex? It's just, this is what they do. It's insane, man. She's a confused person. She is.
Polarized language or questions serve that goal. I don't think they serve the American people.
It is not polarizing to say that there is a scientific difference between men and women. And I want this to be clear and for the record. It is not polarizing to say that women are a biological reality and should be treated and protected as such. That is not polarizing. That is truth. It is also, by the way, the United States Constitution, which offers unique protections to women in a variety of circumstances as women.
That's another really big component he's talking about, is that if you can't define what a woman is, how can we define sexism against women? How can we define gender discrimination against women? How can we define any of these different things that all of our laws and all of our country is built around if we can't even identify what a woman is in the first place? You see what I'm saying? And this is what these people have a problem with, is they're not even able to engage with this even in the first degree of rationality. So yeah, whenever you make your ideology your identity, you perceive every criticism as a personal attack, and you will always defy logic just so you can feel in the right. True. She just said why she's there. She doesn't want to lose patience in the money giving a logical answer. Well, again, I think that there needs to be some degree of accountability for people that are engaging with this stuff, especially if they're doctors. Because when you're a doctor, like, this is a license that's given to you by a medical board. If a medical board is giving out licenses to people that don't know what a woman is, then at what point are they enabling malpractice? Really?
And your refusal to recognize women as women and men as men is deeply corrosive to science,
crazy?
To public trust, and yes, to constitutional protections for women as women.
Yep.
And I think it's...
I don't think that Republicans are even remotely as aggressive against this stuff as they should be. Like, in my opinion, I think that any of these different doctors that did any sort of intervention, like any sort of trans intervention on anybody under the age of 13, should be brought up on child mutilation or child endangerment charges. They should be totally, removed from the license. We should put them in jail, do all of this retroactively, take these people, remove their licenses as well, and then just totally scorched earth these people. Because the reality is that you can never reason with people that are brainwashed. And this is a really big mistake. 18, not 13. I think 13 is a point where everybody can agree. I think 14 to like 18, there's like some gray area, right? So like all I'm talking about are the easy wins, okay? You want to say 18? I agree with you on 18. But the fact is that 13 and under is the easy win. And so anyway, not even close? Yeah, sure, right? Okay, fine, 18. I don't care. Why are we even arguing about this? Doesn't matter. My point is that they need to be way more aggressive with these people, because you're never going to reason a person out of a position that they didn't reason themselves into. These people are afraid. So the only way that you can conquer that is to make them more afraid of you. And so the way that you do that is you introduce penalties, punishments, and accountability that is so brutal and so extreme that they're afraid to push this ideology on kids. They're afraid to try to change science in a way that affirms mentally ill people's gender identity. And they're afraid to try to push this on the public. That's what you have to do. You have to be aggressive. You have to go completely all the way with them. And if you don't do that, what they do is they just kind of stay in their little box and they consolidate power more and more and more and more as much as they can. And then eventually they will exercise that same power against you. You have to shut them down. You totally shut them down, and you do it with literally no mercy, no recourse, no, like second guessing yourself. You totally destroy them.
Extraordinary.
I don't know why they don't do that.
You would sit here and advance a political agenda that has been thoroughly discredited and rejected by the American people in this forum. And I'm glad we had this exchange, because it is exceptionally clarifying. It is also in many ways quite depressing. I see that my time has nearly expired. I just want to thank the other witnesses for being here. Thank you for protecting women and children. Thank you for your valiant efforts. Thank you for following the science. And thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this hearing.
Holy shit. What is going on? And literal utter Karen annihilation. I know. What do you mean there's a gray area in 14, 18? I think that some people view people like teenagers, older teenagers, as having a degree of like ability to understand what they want more than like a 7-year-old, for example. But I don't think anybody under 18 needs to be having any sort of medical transgender interventionism. Like no puberty blockers, no surgery, no anything. So it's not like I don't agree with you. I'm just saying, like, for 13 and under, that's like that's the really crazy stuff. And so, yeah. And about then, your brain isn't developed till 25. Yeah, but you can join the army at 18. So I figure if you wanna go on, get surgery or whatever, that's totally fine. But anyway, let me see if I can pull out the rest of these, because yes, there has been a massive crash out for this, and they're actually falling apart trying to justify why women aren't women. Oh, here we go again. Here's another one.
Miss Verma, can men get pregnant?
Dr. Verma,
Yes.
I just want to make sure we're
Dr.
all
Verma.
addressed.
If it's up to me, not for long. Doctor.
Can men get
A
pregnant?
doctor.
As a doctor, give me your opinion. As a doctor, can men get pregnant?
Somebody's laughing.
I mean,
I'll move
Yep.
on to the next one. Is doctor, can
No, you never let these people move on. You bury them. Absolutely bury them. What are
men
you
get
doing
pregnant?
moving on?
No.
I know you're a lawyer, an AG, like I was an AG. Can men get pregnant?
No.
Miss Verma,
No,
can
obviously not. Obviously you can't get pregnant if you're a fucking, if you're a man. Duh. It's so obvious. Let me go and see if I can find the other comments about this, because there's been even more about this with the Supreme Court. It is insane. And yes, and they go after the kids because it makes them unstable to procreate. It's the only way they can keep their ideology alive. Well, again, like, the only problem is that I think that a lot of these conservatives, and I don't even think it's a conservative thing, I think this is just a normal people thing. I think a lot of these just straight up normal people are unwilling to be as aggressive and as hostile against this stuff as I think they need to be. And I think that's the big issue that we have now, is that basically there's no real accountability for these people. So because they don't face any accountability, they just say and do whatever the hell they want. So that's really the big problem, I think, that what happens. Let me see if I can pull up the rest of the comments about this too, because what is this, Supreme Court? I guess maybe trans, probably a better way to look at it. See if I can find the rest of that's what we're conservatives. I don't even think that I'm a conservative, if you want me to be honest. I don't think so at all. I think this is just common sense reality. So yeah, and
As well. Why are you splitting up sports? Like, I'm pretty sure a woman could play basketball as well as a man if she practiced and he practiced. Like, what's the issue?
oh my God, where are these people? Like, how can you be this delusional? This is insane.
The Department of Justice will not sit by when women are discriminated against in sports.
I will echo Attorney General's comments about how brave these women are, these young women.
I thank you on behalf of course, myself, but I think...
Yeah, obviously, right? I mean, the West is falling. Well, I think that the reason why things are getting worse is because there's nobody that actually holds these people accountable, and that's the main issue of what happens.
I'm Congressman Greg Steube from the great state of Florida.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I've been fighting this fight since 2019 when I filed an amendment to the Democrats' so-called Equality Act to protect women's sports.
Equality.
We then filed a standalone bill in 2020, and it took 3 years for it to pass the House floor. We filed it again this last year, and thanks to your advocacy, it passed the House with bipartisan support.
Yep.
Yet because of the ridiculous filibuster rule in the Senate, it dies in the Senate, which is why these cases are so important. SCOTUS has a chance to protect women because the Senate has failed them. During this entire fight, I have said that states need to exercise their 10th Amendment rights to protect women's sports, and thankfully, 27 states have exerted their rights and passed bills to protect women.
Thank God.
Title IX was created by Congress over 50 years ago, specifically to create and protect women in sports.
Obviously.
Yet due to the left's perversion of what a woman is, it has been under constant attack.
Jesus.
Men do not belong in women's sports because they are not women. They are men. The Supreme Court has the opportunity to...
I don't see how anybody can argue against this on any sort of foundation that makes sense at all. Really.
Do what Congress
There's
has failed
no foundation
to do
for this
to
at
protect
all.
Women's sports.
It's crazy.
And the state's ability to act where the federal government has failed. At a minimum,
so simple, yeah.
I pray that
it's
the court
so
allows
obvious.
states to determine policy that protects women. But it is also time that the U.S. Supreme Court to rule there are only 2 genders and trans is not one of them.
Yeah, obviously.
God bless each and every one of you, and God bless the great United States of America.
Thank God. Okay, finally, we're getting some degree of changes. Refer to men as trans girls, but we're ignoring biological truth. What is this here? Conservative justice, Amy Brown Current. What is this?
You're just drawing the line based on biological sex and saying that trans girls can't be on the girls' team.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, pretty much.
In an age group that's prepubescent.
Yeah.
The record in this case does not support the notion that males lack an athletic advantage at 6 years old. That's about as early as the science goes from what's in the record. And even at that age, males have about a 5% athletic advantage over girls in most situations. Now,
you're just
it's just like, I mean, when would there ever be a situation where a 6-year-old was trans? Oh, I know. Whenever their parent, probably the mother, grooms them to be trans. It's insane, man. Prepubescent boys are absolutely still stronger than girls. Yeah, I mean, obviously they are. I mean, it's not even a question. But this is what happens. You argue the Supreme Court the definition for sex should not be used when ruling how to enforce Title IX. And this is the other big problem for what happens is that this is the reason why I don't think anybody should accept the lie that, you know, gender and sex are 2 different things. The reason why is because they intentionally redefine these terms in order for them to try to tell you what the difference is. And I think that basically they do that. They redefine terms and then they build legal cases around the redefinitions. That's what happens.